Okay, let's see. Getting over a cold. Um, See, I'm just going to be doing some prototyping today. Less DevOpsy stuff. I'm doing some kind of front end, traditional web development kind of stuff. Call it JetBlocks. See if chat's working. So I probably won't have this code up until after this stream, unless anybody asks for it. Oh my. Let's see. Yeah, all prototypes. This is what I want. Let's see. Also, oh boy, nice stream. I was also gonna let Slack know. I should really automate those things. Let me do that real quick. I should save this file though too. It's not JetBlocks. Just as I was prototyping an example to do component here. So get rid of that. And Slack. So we're using this Jet template parser. There's not a lot of template processing libraries in Go. There's one kind of popular one that actually re-implements the Django templating language, which, you know, is okay. There are some kind of weird things about it. There's a lot of other weird things or simpler ones like mustache type template processors. The main thing I was looking for was kind of full-featured templates with logic and stuff like that, but also having extends include and ideally, which this one has, a proper sort of partial not exactly include or partial, but something like that that lets you pass key value arguments, and in order to better model the paradigm of React components, be able to pass in child data. And so it turns out that their block stuff does that. Let's see if we can find an example. So this is an example of maybe a better one where it's actually in a separate file. Would be here. So it's kind of like a partial, and it's a separate file, and it defines a block called menu, which you can then import in a template and call, but you can actually pass it child data. And that can be used as data, or it can be used wholesale in here. Let's see the example. And this is kind of a more traditional, like, okay, here's some arguments. So you've basically made a block called input field that has this kind of snippet of HTML, templated HTML. And then where's a good example of the Ah, here it is. So in this case, we can, it's interesting because normally when you define it, you can also be calling it, but so in this case, we're calling this columns block here, and the columns actually has some arguments, but then you can also yield content, and so that basically gives you wholesale whatever was inside the block tags of the caller. So if it looks like this, yield columns, and then you say content to say, hey, take the contents of this and pass it in as what's yielded here. So it's a little, funky. It could be worse, but that's kind of a necessary enough thing to more or less model the basic semantics of a React component. So my idea was to take some of the elements of Semantic UI and wrap them up into these kind of jet blocks and see what it's like to work with a system like this. Because there's a lot of places I want to go if I have this. Check in Slack. Just drop it in there. Wow, it keeps using the old description. Maybe I should do it in here. Feel free to join the Glider Labs Slack, by the way, by going to slack.gliderlabs.com. Semantic UI, if you haven't seen it, is also really great. It's sort of a more modern version of Bootstrap. It's a lot less verbose, and it feels a lot nicer. One thing that I learned about Bootstrap, it was originally designed assuming that you would have some kind of processor that would mean that development would not involve dealing with their crazy class names and kind of verbose extra class names. There's almost a bit of magic to the way Semantic UI works. And the way they name things, it's very readable and therefore writable. And it comes with a little bit of JavaScript, sort of assumed to be working in a sort of jQuery paradigm. But let's get if I can find some examples of some other great stuff it has. Is basically built-in theming, which is great. It's sort of designed to support different themes. I'm not sure why this isn't taking me to what I wanted. Hey there. Hey now. This is not... Oh, what am I looking at? Okay, I was confused. They are emulating GitHub. And they need to make that more clear. I thought I was taken to a GitHub page, but it was actually a page created in Semantic UI that looks enough like GitHub. It's different enough that I'm like, this seems weird. And just kind of for fun, they have a couple of other this doesn't seem as Amazon-y as I remember. Probably just isn't expressing it with enough of these yellow buttons. Oh, menu. And I don't have a... I don't understand what I'm doing. Menu. Button. They have a material theme? Yeah, kind of interesting. But obviously you can write your own themes, and so that's pretty nice to have. So a lot of the web development I've been doing has been using Semantic UI, and also a lot of the web development I was doing before was using React. And there turns out to be one or two kind of, I think this is the official one, libraries that create React components for all of the components in the Semantic UI framework. So that's pretty nice. And of course, it really goes together because they're so composable, and you kind of drop them inside of each other and they kind of do what you want, do what you would expect. And so for the most part, but the thing is they had to rewrite a lot of the JavaScript since it was assumed to kind of work in kind of a jQuery-esque paradigm. Anyway, so the idea would be that I could have components kind of like these, but in Go templates. And the reason for that is just to have kind of fast server-side prototyping of pages that are assembled and decomposed nicely like you would have with React components, but without having to include any of the React or modern JavaScript garbage that there's sort of a minimum amount of crap that you have to include to do anything in JavaScript these days. So to be able to do a kind of a fast, having things rendered server-side also makes things pretty fast. It's the way we used to do things all the time. So this ties into some of the future work that I wanted to do. So I guess let's start putting this stuff together. I might already have, I don't know if I should start with the hello world of Semantic UI or Jet. Maybe I should start with Jet. Do they have a simple? Yeah, let's get the package. Layout, first template. I just want all this in a single thing. I guess this is kind of one file. Yeah, because I'm going to have to set up a little web service. I wonder if they just have an example. Yep. It's still useful to have to use React and stuff, but for a lot of times you just don't. Where's the app? Oh, I guess this is the app. Oh, that's funny. I was just modeling a to-dos thing. Get template. Okay, maybe I'll copy this and just start ripping it apart. No to-dos. Nope. Nope. Okay, and then what else do they have? Need some templates in a views directory. What is this? DevOps. Curious. Oh, we have a layout. Probably don't even need that, but I'll try it just in case. I've never used Jet, so we'll see how this goes. What is it? Layouts. I don't think it matters. And then this, which I will change. Oh, button. How do I give it a body? We don't have any to-dos, so really I just want to say hello world. Don't need any of this. Is confused about this. Should be a slash. Oh, because they put that in there. So I actually just want this. Should be able to serve it up. To-dos. No. Yeah, Jinja. I like Jinja. You might have missed it. There's also a Go. Go templating. Pongo 2. It's a Django-like syntax. I think I did like Jinja more than the stock Django stuff, but yeah, they're pretty similar. This does some weird stuff, like that's not Django macro, is it? So I should be able to run this now, right? '80. Hello world. I think also it compiles everything once, so I can't do real-time changes. I thought I read that. Let's try refreshing here. Oh no, it's fine. Maybe that's a mode. Okay, so now I'm an expert with Jet. Let's get some Semantic UI in here. I'm gonna have to serve some static files. Blah, 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 blah. File server, perfect. This is using static new file hello.txt. Let's see if that works. Nope. Static hello text. Is that right? What have I done wrong? Oh, because this is doing catch-all. I don't really care, so I guess I'll do this. Or maybe if I put this first. Yeah. Oh, okay, it doesn't actually care about that order. I think this works. Insert directory does it. Yeah, debug, how would I, all right, let's see what we got. Go HTTP. There's a docs on this. Maybe I should read this. System open takes. Native string values of file name with native file system. Access to files and directories start will only allow access to files and directories starting with a period. What the hell? Will allow. Oh, will. I was inserting only. Yeah. Oh, how does file server? Does that exist? I don't even see that. Whoa. Somebody subscribed. But I wasn't paying attention. I don't know who. Not found. Yeah, if only I had the chat overlaid so I can get your help in more real time. Or I can just read the chat more often. I don't know, clearly I'm doing something stupid. Oh. Maybe this. Seems like something I've done before. Okay. Of all the things to get stuck on. Static. Just make sure. I wonder what development mode is. Static. Is it saved? Is it like a file type thing? Try and more closely match theirs. Oh, it's kind of redundant, isn't it? How come that works? Okay, it doesn't like that, and it doesn't like this. Oh, you know what? It's probably a rewriting issue. It's not, I know it. There is a, it's too dumb. It's looking it up from the path. Oh God, I did this before. I should just use this. Not this. File server, get string, strip prefix. HTTP strip prefix. Oh yeah, you got it past it. Exactly. So we have equal speed in figuring this out. Would it be that? I think. Okay. Yeah, that tripped me up a long time. For a long time last time I was doing static file stuff. Solved it once and forgot about it. So in theory I could still have this at root, I think. How this works. Hello. Okay. Don't need you. I'll keep you around. So this whole point of this was to have some Semantic UI, but I'm just going to get a Semantic UI CDN. I wonder, did it make a noise? I don't think it made a noise when you did the app program. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't even register. Unfortunately, this is what I want. CSS. Oh, what is all this? Something like that. Rel style sheet. Is that all? Where's the href? Yeah. I mean, since I use Slack, I kind of want to just make everything go on to Slack, which I actually found something really cool for that. Matter Bridge. Finally, this exists. For too long, it was like you needed to pay for a service that would let you bridge anything to anything, but now you have this. Run and Go lets you bridge IRC to Gitter to Slack. So one thing, unfortunately, Gitter doesn't let you create virtual users or post as a user yet. So it'd all be glider bot and then say Slack and a username. But all the projects could now use Gitter. Gitter makes a lot more sense for projects just because of the how quick you can get into chat compared to Slack, which is ideal for support and stuff. But I don't want to use Gitter. I'm not using Slack. So this is something I'll work on in a bit. And I think this is href. Maybe I should look at any web page. Yeah. This should make a difference. Yep. So I have Semantic UI, I have chat. Oh, really? Oh, cool. Script tag, cool. Didn't know that. What now? I want to find a Semantic UI example page. Something like this, maybe? No, not this. Something that looks like an actual... kind of admin interface type of thing, which is more or less this, but come on, you would think they would just have like a, I want like a top bar and a user drop down, like a left bar. Admin. Ew. Also have a lot of glare right where the chat is. That's probably not helping. I don't want a theme. Found what? What'd you find? Oh, this? Maybe this is what I want. Oh, geez. Okay, I don't want that. I just want a single page. It's like more an example than like a Semantic admin template. No, that's what I was looking at. It's a lot of stuff. Maybe the index. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think this is what I want. Oh. So what are you saying? Did you find something else? Template. Let's see what this gets. Themes, no. Templates. Yeah, it's something like this. Oh yeah, what do you got? This is might be too complicated, but I guess it's all right, I'll fall back to this one. Let me see this one. I was thinking something more like this, just trying to get this basic kind of layout. Probably change it around and get rid of some of this. The idea is I would decompose this into the components of this page and then rebuild it and see how it feels working with that and add and remove from there. Let's see. Let's see, jQuery. I should probably grab that too. I used to use the Google one. using that shortcut. Probably went that before. And I think I can just do this. Oh geez. I've got some custom CSS, whatever. So let's do what do I want to do? How about this? Class template. What the hell is that? Okay, should just be able to do this. Whoa. It's missing some images. Let's where did these come from? I thought they were like, I guess there are some static files. Whatever, I don't care. Okay, so let's now look at the source and figure out how to decompose this thing. Oh boy. So much of it is whether or not something has a class, and that becomes a property. Like we could look at there's probably a good reference to looking at the React equivalents. So like this is for menu. And yeah, a lot of things are just Boolean values that would just basically insert class in there. I guess let's start with something simple like this input. So create a folder called Semantic UI and create how was it? New file called input jet, and this can be so. Damn examples. They're like in this file. Here we go. Something like this. This would be input, I guess. I guess we'll just grab this for now and not parameterize it and just get this to render. the way this works, I have to import that here. So import Semantic UI input, and then sure I just say block. Does block always need a closing? I'll just do this. Input. Oh, no, didn't work. I wonder if something's not. Probably using blocks wrong. Yeah, I probably need to like yield invokes. Okay. Okay. So I think I want. Oh, that was defining a block. Okay, I don't want to define a block. I want to call it, and I don't need to close anything. There we go. Let's see. Let's try and parameterize some of it. I don't need this. Input. Not label. Type text. What does this look like? Placeholder. 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 That's weird. I don't see placeholder. Huh. I wonder if it just assumes anything that's not here, it'll just put in the attributes of the input element. We'll get to that point, I guess. Placeholder, placeholder. It's going to be a big block definition. I wonder if you can just do, oh, that's what I was wondering, if you can do that kind of like variadic attributes. That sounds advanced. Nope. Maybe I will do it manually by hand for now. How does it look? Placeholder, I guess. This is really dumb. Is that it? Okay. No. So now there's no text, but here I can now say placeholder equals hello, and now we get hello. Okay. Let's see. Small. I'm gonna have to create some utility functions, I think. But I really want to know how to get arbitrary key values. Maybe somebody's asked. This might be something that I have to contribute because I don't think I could do this realistically without. Although, how good is it about handling this kind of formatting? Breaks. Okay. Closed action. Doesn't like multi-line stuff, or needs something like this. Nope. Probably doesn't. Yeah, so I'm not going to put all of those on one line, especially being able to, you know, if it also expects to take any possible key and apply that as an attribute. Let's see. Props. Maybe to read the code. Block. Loader. I don't know where it would be. To a chat function. I guess I could search. Block. Ooh. Passbox. Node. Block parameter. Block. Okay, nothing interesting in the yield. Node. Block parameter list. Yeah, is there some way? Parameter list. Parameters. I guess now I want to see how that would be parsed. Anything parses directly to this. Comma, assign, declare. I don't see any kind of like special item identifier. Go back to trying to find something in the docs. Okay, what's new? Fields are more powerful. Default value, that's nice. Still have to define all of this. I guess I can do it that way, just gonna be ridiculous in the long term. Although it makes sense because it needs to know how to take the key and then create a variable in that context. Yeah, maybe if there's something like built-ins, like some global type stuff. Add a global. That's not what I meant. Default global. Built-in function. Maybe there's a built-in function that would get arguments. How many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I mean, they could all go on one line. I'm thinking about future stuff. I'm obviously not going to do that now, but I want to do stuff as I see it. I guess I could just do that so small. That's a size thing. Let's see, I would need some kind of is set. I'm going to have to build a lot of helpers. Okay, is set. Can you do that? That's interesting. Set. If period is everything, that kind of solves it. So in this case, I want to do this. What if I want to do the value? Oh, I would just do this. Otherwise empty. I think I remember doing this all the time. Ugh. Learning the expressions. How do I concatenate? Would I here's a function. Probably don't even want to do oh, I'll just deal with that space for now. See if this even works. Is this big? Can't tell. So I should be able to say size equals small. Didn't do anything. So maybe you can't do this. Let me try this. This should work. Yeah. Okay, that's a bummer that I can't access variables like that, because that would have solved the problem I was having before. Jenna has a chat. Ooh. There's that function. To get blocks, it has a map. Global variables. What I'm saying. In the meantime, size did work. I'll just try some kind of concatenation. I'm going to put this down here so I can see it when I reload. Did that work? I think plus as concatenation works. Yep. Well, it solves that at least. Not that that white space really matters. Well, that's this component, at least how it's used there. Let's try and extract some more. Let's see, an item. So this will start testing the ability to nest these. So item, class item. What does that look like? I think it's part of menu. Menu item. This is the kind of thing where I could create a single file called menu and then have in it a block called menu item and then also menu, etc. Menu item does our menu item need? Nothing. Just the inner content. Item. So that would be, how does that work? yield content. I saw you somewhere. Here we go. Oh, you just say yield content. I wonder if that's an arbitrary identifier. Content. I'll just use content. Menu item. And then here we want yield content and yield menu item content and import menu. Let's see how that works. When it worked, it has a lot of white space. I didn't expect that. I wonder where that comes from. Does this work? No. Space? No. I added it in the normal Go templating. Expressions maybe. Strings, pipelines. Yeah, I don't know why there aren't, why there isn't a way to. I mean, I guess it's because of this sort of thing, right? If I were to do input, maybe starting on there, I don't really want to. I'll just do it to see if we can get rid of the white space. Okay, yeah. Oh, sort of. Oh, because of that. It's kind of weird. Oh, I won't worry about the white space stuff. It's not that important. Small details that I can fix with patches or whatever. As long as this kind of core ability to model components hierarchically, then we'd be in good shape. Okay, what next? Menu, right. This is a new menu? Oh, I guess so, because of this item. So I probably want to do the siblings of things before others. Okay. That's fine. Oh, shit. How do I do an item that is an anchor tag? I mean, you could just have a div be the item and then have the anchor tag. Can be active. It's such a common thing. A menu item can be a link. Okay. So basically a just a if statement on a Boolean. Menu item link equals false if link else and a. But what is the link? No class. How would you define the actual URL then? Can't imagine on click every time. I might just assume that href could pass through. Luckily, we're not actually linking to any URL, so I think this is good enough. And I can start replacing these. Oops. This would be help menu item link true. So I should have two helps. Two helps. Identical. So lots of white space. So we'll just copy this. Profile. Settings. Dash. Looks fine. Okay, now I can do this menu thing. So this is another block called menu, and here we are, menu, and right, which I think was a tabular, and you can be formatted to show tabs of information. No, vertical, maybe alignment. No, shit. Fixed. Menu can be fixed to a side of its context. Okay, cool. Fixed. Fixed is nothing. Get rid of this. Menu. Class. Menu. I'm not sure if right has to come before, but I'll just do that anyway. We'll do this. If fixed is set, and actually I'll need this. Space afterwards, I guess. Okay. Menu. Fixed equals right. Let's try that. Menu. Fixed equals right in quotes. Get rid of that. Oh, and it works. Yep. So far, so good. You can see here, it's kind of interesting, you know, as a verbose quality, yield. content, etc. But it works okay. I'm not looking forward to this. Header item. Whoa, it's one of those mixed things. This is kind of curious how you do that in. I guess you just have to embed nested tags, have a header, and then or have the item and then the header. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of the cool things about the expressiveness of Semantic UI as a CSS framework. Some stuff gets weird when you start putting it into a component hierarchy. Let's see. Unless they do something weird like have an item and it lets you say it is a header, which they do. So maybe I should just project name. This is a big link true and header true, and then I need to implement that. And menu item. I'm gonna have to start doing this. This should have UI. And this should have no space. Okay. Fixed. Oh, fuck. Doing this to the wrong thing. Well, I just does need that. Okay, take this and put it in here. Header. Was it I already deleted it. I guess header item. Okay, if menu item header equals false, so I can just say if header, say header. Yeah, and I need to do this from both versions, which could be dried up at some point. But this should work. Oh shit. I think UI is what broke that. I don't quite understand when you want UI and when you don't. Header item. And I'll try and do this last variation of menu, which I don't understand when you want UI and when you don't want UI. I never understood that about Semantic UI. Element type, class name, children. Anyway, it's Need UI. Yes. Maybe Google knows. Semantic UI class. UI class usage. Exactly. UI is a special class name to distinguish parts of components from components. For example, a list. So that makes sense. I don't understand how like React would do this. It detects to see if it's a child of something else, child of another menu. Or I can kind of figure out what next. Do I want to deal with this? It's very interesting because I almost think I would put up with it. I could always add my own syntax to Jet, maybe, or I mean, it wouldn't be that different. Yeah, and there's probably a lot of stuff where I would just still need yield. I don't know, I think I could live with this, at least from a user, to build stuff. It doesn't sound as fun to build out this Semantic UI library, but it seems feasible, especially if I considered adding some modifications to Jet, get some PRs in there to allow like map access to arguments and arbitrary arguments. Did anybody reply to me? Also, probably want to do something about this white space. Yeah, but this is kind of interesting. I feel like in order to understand some of the implications further down the line, I need to be further down the line to have one of these implementations, semantic UI components implemented, and try and build some stuff with it. Anyway, I'm mostly pleased. It didn't work as smoothly as I thought, but still it worked. Oh, I didn't even need to make that static stuff work if I used the CDN. That whole little bit was kind of a waste, but whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna ponder this more. I guess I can. I mean, I guess I'll check this in. Why not? So that is up somewhere, wherever I put that. GL prototypes check blocks. So if anybody else wants to play with that or help me out with these, building some of these out or working on Jet, it would be kind of nice if I could get further on this. There's a lot of interesting things we could do if we had this. So I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching.